Hi guys, and welcome back to the Honey Herd. If you're new here, my name is Paul and this is my first year into beekeeping, starting from scratch as a complete beginner. So I've got some great news to share. I've had a date for picking up our first colonies of bees. It's in a couple of weeks' time. We'll be heading down to Lawrence at Black Mountain Honey to pick up 2 colonies of buckfast bees. But that's for another video. Today I thought it'd be a great idea to get down to the apiary and check through all my basic essential tools that I'm going to need this year on my journey into beekeeping. I'll run through them now and show you what I've got. Okay, so let's start with the bee suit. I've gone with a full bee suit. I think it's triple layered and well vented. I got mine from Maysmore Apiaries. Can't remember exactly how much it was, but it feels quite light and hopefully it'll be nice and cool. Obviously, essential piece of kit. I know a lot of beekeepers just use a veil or a jacket and a veil, but as a complete beginner, I think it's wise for me to go with the full protection that I can get. Next, we have the gloves. Now, I've gone with leather gloves with the long sleeves to start. I do believe they're a bit more cumbersome and a bit more difficult working bees in these, but until I build up my confidence, I think I'm going to go with these and then hopefully switch to the blue nitrile gloves as we go on. What can we do next? The smoker. Essential bit of kit, helps calm the bees and mask the alarm pheromones that they may set off. Some people just like to use a little bit of spray water or sugar syrup in a spray bottle. But as I'm just starting off, I'm definitely going to go with the smoker. But I might try the other methods later on in the year. So next we have the hive tools, essential bit of kit in any beekeeping journey. Used to access the hives, scrape off any propolis, remove any excess wax or comb. Again, essential bit of kit. I've got 2 different styles here. We'll see which one we prefer as the season goes on. Bee brush. Now this is used for gently removing bees from the frames. Very effective in removing the bees from the frames, I believe, without having to shake the frames. Again, very optional. I have some frame rests. These will sit on the side of the hives where I can rest my frames while I do my inspections. And here I have a small queen cage, just to keep the queen safe while I'm doing my manipulations and inspections. Feeders, essential for helping your bees through times where there's not much nectar around, and just gives them a boost. And here we have another piece of non-essential equipment. We're using 10 frame Langstroths, but in my honey supers, I believe that if you use 9 frames, you can get a thicker honeycomb, which makes it a lot easier when uncapping. Not sure what your thoughts are on that. So this is a frame spacer for 9 frames. So that's the tools covered. Let's have a look at the hives we'll be using this year, which is the Langstroth hive. So here we have the bottom board. I've modified this one slightly. I've given an underfloor entrance. I believe that helps have a mesh floor, which is good for ventilation, and I believe lets any varroa mites that fall out of the hive, and then they're unable to climb back up. So this is the brood box, 10 frames with wax foundation, wired wax foundation. This is where we hope to keep the queen laying eggs and the colony raising their brood. So this is a wooden hive. It's made from cedar. Came pre-assembled, although as you can see I've made a few frames myself. myself. They're the ones with the nails really badly done. Hoping the bees won't mind. When we get our nucleus colony, this is going to be 6 frames, which we will hopefully just plug straight into there. So next we'll go on the queen excluder. That allows worker bees to pass through here freely, but keeps the queen down in the brood boxes where we want her to be laying their eggs, and for the colony to be raising that brood. On top of there go our honey supers, if we're lucky enough to need them this year. Ground pod sits on top like that. When necessary, add a feeder. This is a rapid feeder. The bees can enter through the bottom up into this cavity here. Has grooves on here, so it acts like a ladder so the bees don't fall in and drown, or if they do fall in they can get back out. And this just sits on this hole here so the bees can access that as and when they need. That's something we'll be using when we first get our bees. So because we have a rapid feeder on, we're going to need a little eek, which we're just using an empty super. And then of course we have our lid, which sits on nice firmly here. This is a telescopic lid, hangs over the side, which allows the water just to hopefully drain off. So this is where the hive's going, and this is the initial setup. We've got a base here, floor. We'll remove the bottom board with an underfloor entrance. Next we have our brood box. Followed by our second brood box. And then we're going to have our crown board. Followed by our rapid feeder. And then of course the eek. And then the lid. And that is our basic setup that we'll be going into. Entrance, first brood box, second brood box, top crown board, empty honey super we're using as an eek, housing the feeder, and then a lid. Again, floor, 2 brood boxes, crown board, empty honey super as an eek, housing the rapid feeder, and a lid. Get that strapped down. Okay guys, I've never done this before, but I'm going to attempt to light this smoker for the very first time. So bear with me and let's see how this goes. Now, I have some basic fuel. I've gone with some straw. I will purchase some wood pellets. I believe they're really good. But I just thought, as a bit of an experience and a bit of fun, I'll try and light this today. So here we have the smoker, the beekeeper's best friend. helps calm the bees and mask any alarm pheromones that the bees are giving off. I've got some basic, well, I've got a few chickens at home, so I pinched some straw. I think that's going to be something really easy to light for a first time. Might be a good idea. And a little bit of cardboard. So my plan moving forward is a bit of straw and cardboard, followed by wood pellets for pizza ovens, etc. If you've got any hints or tips on that, what do you use for smoker fuel? I heard moss is very good as well. There's quite a bit of moss by me, so I might start drying that out and using that. Pine cones I believe is very good, pine needles. But for today, my first ever attempt at lighting a smoker, I'm going to use some straw and some cardboard. So let's get into it, I suppose. So here's the smoker. It consists of the lid, and then here it's got like a little vented shelf. Little vented shelf here, which sits in the bottom, I believe just to keep the fuel off the bottom, I suppose, and help with the airflow. So get another camera in there so we can get a bit of a better look. Yeah, I mean, how hard can it be, right? Put some fuel in, and let's get going. Start with a little bit of straw. Oh, there's already some moss mixed in there, which I've already brought in from some dried moss from the garden at home. Dried moss from the garden at home, so see how that goes, get that in there as well. And a bit of cardboard. Oh, what we got here? Packing, some cardboard packing. How do you guys feel about cardboard? Is that safe to use on bees? I think I want to go try and, this has got colour on it, so I won't use that. This is just plain cardboard. Stick that in as well, and then some more straw maybe. Let's see what happens here. So, got a lighter. It's a little bit breezy. Okay. Oh, there's a light. Let it burn a little bit too. All you beekeepers screaming at your screens right now, that's not how you do it. Please got your hints and tips. Rookie mistake there, what idiot. What's that have to do in front of a flame and then introduces? Well, bragger. Little tip, never put your hand in front of the smoker. Exit exhaust there while lighting it. So luckily I didn't do it myself. Doesn't go too far, have a look at them. How's that looking? Yeah, seems to be going really well. So there, maybe that's the technique. Get it really hot and lit, and then dump some more stuff on it, just let that smoulder gently. So there it is, my first attempt at lighting this smoker. I don't think it went too badly, but obviously you need a lot more practice. How do you guys light your smoker? What's your technique? And what's the smoker fuel you use? Leave it in the comments. Well, that's it for today. We've covered essential tools for beekeeping and taken a closer look at the Langstroth hive. Even though we don't have our bees yet, getting everything set up now means we'll be fully prepared when they arrive. If you're already keeping bees, I'd love to hear from you. What are the tools you couldn't live without and why? Is there something you use that we didn't mention? And what kind of hive do you use? Langstroth, Top Bar, Ware, National? Let me know in the comments. To everyone who subscribed, commented or offered advice, thank you. We're only a few videos in and the support has been brilliant. You're helping shape the honey herd every step of the way. If you found this video helpful or just enjoyed me wrestling with a smoker, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe if you haven't already, that is. I'll see you in the next one. This is the honey herd and we're just getting started.